The fifth Aliyah gives us two competing visions for how society will be. On the one hand, at the beginning of the Aliyah, we have a society that places God at the center and has a strong relationship. We're all secure, well-fed, and well cared for. On the other hand, is a society where we do not take God, we do not place God at the center, and in this society, we are afflicted with suffering and with misery. In that second vision, the description of our relationship with God is that we are, with the Hebrew word keri, that we are with God bekeri. And that's an interesting word that we don't see very frequently. So, Anshul, what does that word mean? How can we understand this idea of some negative relationship with God through the word keri?
Well, actually, the word keri has a great deal of difficulty in translating it. Various people had a different way of looking at it, but basically, it really infers a kind of casualness or even hostility, in other words, to doing things, so that I will go through the superficial motions of doing a good deed, but I really couldn't care less how it really worked out. I have made the effort. There was no real intent, no real feeling, no real effort to make sure this thing would succeed. Rather, it is an approach to mitzvot, or an approach to helping other people, where you do the right thing, but that's it. What do you want? And that's where it ends. There is just this real superficial, casual attitude. And if this is the way we conduct ourselves, then the Torah says you have dire consequences that are going to result.
That's really interesting, because that rabbinic idea of what keri means seems at first glance to be at odds with the pshat, or the simple meaning, the contextual meaning, at least according to the Jewish Publication Society's translation of the Torah, which translates it as hostility, if we remain hostile to God. Mm-hmm. So on the first face of it, it seems like, well, wait, hostile and dismissive are not really the same thing, right? Mm-hmm. However, in our conversation, we are realizing that really they are just different ways of saying the same thing, right? That for us in our society, when we are not aware of or not structuring our society to care for all, that for God, that's treating God with hostility. And it applies just as much with regard to those kinds of mitzvot as it does to, did I daven Ma'ariv late, or did I daven Ma'ariv without kavanah, without intention? Did I just let the words float through my head, or did I take them seriously? And so we can see that this idea of having a relationship with God that is dismissive is really actually doing violence to our spiritual life and to our relationship with our Creator.